welcome back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. Welcome back to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for your support of me. I love when I see you guys supporting each other as well in the comment section. I've been seeing so much of that lately. So thank you guys so much for being a source of support to each other as well, because that's the space that I wanted to create here. And you guys help me do that every day. So thank you guys for being here and for your friendship. If you have stumbled across this channel for the very first time, I do pick a card readings on this channel. So if you are into tarot, if you're into oracle readings, stick around. There may be a message waiting for you today. So get cozy, get yourself a drink, and we're going to have a little chat because we're all friends when we gather here together. For today's pick a card topic, we're looking at the person on your mind and their thoughts of you today. What were the thoughts that crossed their mind about you? Concerning this connection, concerning the future, what were their thoughts of you today? So we have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 here with the pink poppy, pile number 2 with the cream carnation, and pile number 3 with the peach peony. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting today from Spirit. My timestamps are below as always. And I'm going to jump right into pile number 1 today. So again, our topic is all about the person on your mind and what are their thoughts about you today. Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn to the beautiful pink poppy. And this card, you chose the clock 14 time, pressure and in a rush. Now, 14 corresponds to the temperance energy in the tarot, which talks about patience. So this person could be kind of taking too long to act upon you, and they know it. Time is an issue at this moment. It's like they either feel they're running out of time, perhaps as well. And they wonder too about your impression of the delay. She looks kind of focused. Alice looks a little bit teary-eyed too. So there's this fear of like running out of time with this person. So let's take a look here and see what are their thoughts about you, pile 1 today. What have they been thinking about you today? What thoughts have crossed their mind about pile 1 today? So please take the messages as they resonate. Leave behind those that don't feel right to you. Whoops. With the understanding that energy is in constant motion and your guides cannot interfere with your free will or the free will of other people. So what are their thoughts about pile 1 today? We have the death energy. So they could really be feeling that crunch for time because the death energy is this precipice of a huge rebirth. Sometimes, you know, there's all these peacock feathers in this card. This is the tattoo tarot that I'm using for you today. All of these peacock feathers are a symbol of the King of Pentacles or of ego-driven fears associated with taking leaps of faith, because they're not sure what's going to meet them, if they're perhaps going to come towards you with some sort of offer. So they've thought about big changes or the lack of big change too. They could be fearing that they've already run out of time. What are their thoughts today of pile number 1, please? The Star. Their thoughts today have been circulating around hope and whether or not there is such a thing in this connection at this moment. They also kind of put you up on this big pedestal of unattainability. So you could be far away physically speaking, or they just think that you are way out of their league in some way. Their position doesn't allow it. We have the Temperance, 3 major arcana already. I feel like thoughts of you aren't a fleeting thing for this person because you are prioritizing a lot of major themes in their life right now. And there's the Temperance right in the center of your reading. So I think you chose the right pile with the 14, the Moon. Oh my goodness. Their thoughts of you today. And the 7 of Pentacles. Time is definitely a factor here. Ace of Swords and the 8 of Swords. They are thinking about what they have to say to you and what they want out of this connection, and that's what they've been thinking about. But they're worried. They feel the time crunch. They could feel the opportunity perhaps slipping away from them for some reason, and they're frozen in fear. That's the problem. They have a lot of anxiety about coming forward towards you with some sort of offer or some sort of proclamation or even clarity into their feelings because they've been holding back. And the thing is that I'm getting the sense that this could be very mutual and they have nothing to fear, truly. If they just step outside of that comfort zone, what is going to be met is actually a lot of abundance or a really good reaction from you, perhaps the beginnings of something new, but they're just so frozen by that fear, and they've made a habit out of it. Because when we combine the Ace and the Eight of Swords, that's the 9, and this is rumination. So they are habitually thinking about you. So it's not just thoughts of you today, but these thoughts are the theme of the everyday. Every day they think about you, not just today, but it's a theme that's happening here too. And they are precipitating this delay too. And they wonder if you're going to be growing impatient. Time is definitely a factor. Even if you look in the center of this reading, it looks like a sand timer in the center. And they feel like time is running out. We have the Knight of Wands, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. We also have Aquarius, Scorpio, Cancer, the Moon. The Three of Swords. Now, I am dealing with collective energy, so I do have multiple energies floating in and out. Some of their thoughts for someone today did concern around the necessity for patience. They're worried about the time running out because they cannot act, because they're stuck. And that's a truth. It's something that, it's like a truth that pierces through. It's a reality that pierces through the darkness. It's like, I just can't move at this moment, and I'm really worried that the clock is ticking away. And it fills them with disappointment. The Three of Swords at its base is a deep sadness, loss, and disappointment. It can indicate a third-party situation, so take that as it resonates to your situation. That doesn't always have to be the case. We have the Queen of Swords, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. They also have wondered whether you have been thinking about them today, and they also wonder why, if you have been thinking about them, why the delay. That's what they've been thinking about as well, because when we can't come up with our own solutions, or we are really conflicted as to our own ability to move forward, sometimes we try to turn that gaze elsewhere, and we try to pass the buck a little bit. And that's what they're doing in some of these thoughts. They're wondering if this delay, if this connection is as intense as they feel that it is, and they feel that it is with all of these major arcanic themes, why you perhaps haven't reached out. And they wonder if that's a testament to the necessity for them to release completely. Like, they've thought that through. They've thought this process of, is it worth the effort? Should I just release this because I'm not getting anywhere with all of these thoughts? And all of those swords are representing a truth, representing a thought of you that had nowhere to go, or they didn't react, or they didn't act upon the thought or the impulse that they felt with that thought. And so they wonder if the hesitation from you is some sort of evidence that they should release this expectation. I just saw the Knight of Wands as well. Can we clarify that Ten of Swords, please? The Knight of Swords. And they wonder if they're too late. They thought that as well. They wonder if they're too late. There's the Star, again, Knight of Cups. This person could be a water element potentially here, or the fire element, but there's a strong emphasis on you as a priority. And again, the Aquarius energy, you could be the Aquarius, because there's a sense of you being unattainable for some reason. They feel like they're wasting time. It's like there is an urgency about this thought, but because it's consistent, it feels like it's almost moving into a little bit of obsession. And that's why perhaps you were drawn to the Temperance, because there's a call for that. There's a call for us to balance this out before this habit that they've formed in this thought of you becomes a bit of an obsession over these thoughts that keep coming around in a circle and a circle and a circle. Because sometimes these thoughts make them want to be impulsive and make them want to ignore all consequences and just react to some sort of rebirth. But that could come at a huge cost here with the Death energy. So it's like they're waiting it out, but they're worried that they're running out of time. What are the thoughts of pile 1 today? We have here obstacles to overcome the hills and changes to your life. We also have affairs with your family. So if there is other responsibilities, again, that are causing the delay, where it makes them feel very stuck and unable to move forward, they do think and dream about changes. They do imagine what lies in the unknown if they were to take action towards you. And they do consider it as well in these thoughts. They do consider taking action, but we do have marriage on the back of the deck. So please take that as it resonates to your situation or to theirs. You may be privy to their situation at the moment. And sometimes the Seven of Pentacles asks us for a pause point when we have built or invested into something. We take a pause and we ask ourselves, do we want to continue this investment, or do we want to pull up all of those roots and start again? So you could influence them in those thoughts as well to take action in their practical realm. And as I look at this Seven of Swords, or Seven of Coins, I'm sorry, there's 3 swords or 3 arrows here too, which is mirroring this 3 of Swords at this moment. What are their thoughts of pile 1 today? We have here hammock, taking a vacation physically or mentally, and vulture, depression, anxiety, and worrying that someone is against you. Now, when I see the 8 of Swords with the ace, that's the 9 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, this does teeter on sadness, depression, and habitual sort of rumination. So they could be in a very low place in their life, which is causing them to not really look for solutions and just kind of hope to look at you to hope that you'll create some sort of solution, or you'll bring forward clarity so that they don't have to. What were their thoughts of pile 1 today, please? We have here dog spirit, be loyal to what you love, number 19. And there is such a strong sense of friendship and loyalty here. You are this star that they focus upon, that they wish upon. And that's been a dream for them for some time. That's why they've had to experience the patience. And they are still loyal to you. They have no intention of really releasing, even though their good sense may tell them to, or what they perceive to be their good sense tells them that they should release their hope. They don't want to jump to that conclusion. It's like they want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. They don't want to jump to that conclusion. We have here time for a deep dive at the swan spirit. So they wonder if the intensity of their thought towards you and the loyalty that they've shown, the fact that their awareness is always brought towards you and thoughts of you, they wonder if that is some sort of evidence of a soulmate connection. They may not be the type to understand that dynamic or really even spend a lot of time delving deeply into that, but they wonder if there's something different about this connection. Back of the spirit, or back of the deck, says bring a gentle touch, the deer spirit. It's 18 and you've had the moon multiple times. So they reflect upon you all the time, and they could even dream about you as well. Let's get some message cards here. What were their thoughts of pile 1 today, please? What were their thoughts from pile 1 today? I'm a better person because of you. You have really changed me. And you really have influenced this person's path and the decisions that they make. I love you. And I have been receiving your telepathic messages. You may be drawn to this reading because you think about this person every day as well. Even though we're not together, I just can't see myself letting you go. It's like you'll have to be the one to pull the plug here. That's what they've thought about. You will have to be the one to pull the plug because they're never going to let go of that connection, in a sense. I have been focused on money or focused on building because I'm trying to build for myself. And the back of the deck says, when we first met, I just always had this feeling about you. So there was an instant attraction or an instant recognition between the two of you in that moment that you met, or they felt something very strongly the moment that you met too, which could really ring true for someone watching, I feel. What were their thoughts of pile 1 today, please? I'm too afraid to push my boundaries and step out and speak to you. They feel stuck, but it's not a true prison. It's just a prison that they've invented. It's a thought prison. The fear of the consequences. Ace of Cups. They've thought about what it would be like to have a new emotional start with you, a new opportunity to try again as well. It's like they wish that they could try again. And it says you are wrong, and they really kick themselves for choices made, for leaps not taken as well. They kick themselves. I want a fresh start with you. It says, but no reverse. I just can't in this moment. Back of the deck says, happiness is my priority. And definitely, we also have, you make my heart full, but it's the 10 of Cups in the reverse. So they are concerned. There's a loneliness in this person, to be honest. There's this loneliness that's coming through. And I feel like it's not necessarily their happiness that they're prioritizing in this moment. Otherwise, they wouldn't feel so imbalanced. Let's pull a couple of little cards to close out the reading. What were their thoughts today of pile number 1, please? I just saw, I'm sorry I hurt you. Twin flame connection. They've wondered about that today. It's like, why do I think about this person so consistently? What do you want from me? What would you like this person to do? They've thought about that. I try not to miss you, but I wish I was better at it. And you'll never know how beautiful you are to me. I just saw your capacity for love is huge. Cat and mouse game. So this could have been a flirtation, a friendship flirtation in the past. We have, it's complicated right now. And my heart recognized you instantly. That's sweet. I thought I had more time. And now that timing, that sense of timing, it may have shifted focus a little bit, but now they're afraid that they're running out of time, that they've lost their opportunity. In the past, they thought they had more time, and now they're worried that they're running out of time. I want to be your knight in shining armor, and you have your Knight of Cups here on the back of deck. That's what they want. In a perfect world, that's what would happen. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 1. If you're new to the channel, I do end each pile with a charm cast. And I have my own meanings for the charms, but I do encourage everyone to sort of see what they see in the bowl as well and trust your intuition. So what was the final thought that this person has had, the most recent thought they've had about pile 1 in the bowl? So in the bowl, we have the the Fool, the Ace of Pentacles, and the 6 of Cups. They've thought about just risking it all. They've thought about just taking a risk and communicating with you and like throwing out a line, but they wonder if that will be received well, and they think that's kind of unrealistic to assume that you still think about them or that you long for them in the way that they do. They hold you in a really high regard, but they don't have enough self-esteem, I don't think, to think that you feel that same way. And they really, their last thought, their most recent thought was about taking a big risk and communicating with you. But they were afraid of what lies beyond that archway. We have the letter P in the bowl today. We have cool. I feel like they always played it cool. We have here the heartbreak, I think, of the 3 of Swords. And the hatchet that talks about having to break something, having to sever something. We have the stethoscope, hospital or nursing connection, but also a blocked heart chakra, somebody whose heart would literally beat at their chest when you were around. We have Leo and a forget-me-not. Oh, we have wishes do come true and Virgo, and we have a song. So we have the treble clef here, a musical note. So music could be important to this connection, or there could be a song that actually has one of your names in it. All right, pile 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, please drop your comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my other links for a personal reading from Etsy, and I also have some links down below for crystals and for Instagram, for instance. You can check those out too if you feel called to. But I hope you come back and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the Cream Carnation. And you were drawn to a moment's regret, number 16, nostalgia, idealizing the past, and fearful that you've made a mistake. And this is your reading about the person on your mind and what their thoughts of you were today. So this 16, it really represents the Tower energy and epiphanies, being shocked into reality. This person's thoughts were on the past and situations with you, and they are wondering if they made a huge mistake. They're also wondering if you think that they made a big mistake, if they are idolizing the past, if they don't even remember it the way that they remember it in their mind, if it didn't actually happen in that way. So they're really going through perhaps an epiphany about you, perhaps about a loss when it comes to you. The Tower can also talk about things in upheaval, so their life could be in upheaval at this moment. And when we're in these profound moments of change, sometimes our awareness does get snapped right back to the past, and that could be where you lie. In the corner of this card, this ship is really grabbing my attention because it's a sense of a ship sailing away from us. So, and then I'm looking down here and there's this ace of cups that really wants to be seen. So let's take a look and see. What were their thoughts for pile 2 today? Ooh. 8 of Wands, 2 of Wands. They're kind of burdened by the what ifs in this connection. A lot of their thoughts, primarily out of the deck right now, were about action and the planning. It's like I was going to act. I was going to take action. I had a plan. I was going to take action, and there's so much unfinished business here. There's also this thought of about awareness online for you too. So they may have been watching your social media. They may have been checking up on you, and that's why their thoughts were on you today specifically, because they felt this impulse to reach out to you online today. But they got a little bit scared perhaps. We have the King of Wands and with the 6 of Wands. It could be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Very strong fire element here. We have the King of Pentacles. And then all of a sudden we shift into the King of Pentacles. So this King of Fire is literally on fire for you. And they're feigning victory. So they could be wearing masks in their environment at this time. And that's why they could be thinking about that moment's regret, because they may have invested in other realms at this time. And so now they have responsibilities. They have status. They have to think about those things. Back of the deck is already 8 of Cups though. And even in this, there's so much going on in this card. This 8 of Cups with the 2 swans, the soulmate energy, the desire for relationships, their mind thinking about having to change direction, wondering if luck is even on their side. Would you even be interested? Like their mind was in a whirlwind today when it comes to you. We have the 4 of Pentacles, because it does feel like a concern for the home in this case, pile 2. There does seem to be a concern for the home a little bit here and what they've invested in, because these impulsive thoughts, this fire that they still hold for you, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's like time and space has not dulled it at all. It's just added fuel. But now there's more complications in place. And you can even see with the 4 of Pentacles that she's made of a house. And that's what's kind of locking her in, is this foundation that they've built. So they could be really worried about they feel like they've already made a mistake, and they could be worried about being too impulsive and making more mistakes that they can't go back from. What are their thoughts of pile 2 today, please? We have the Queen of Cups. Their thoughts trickle down to whether or not you still care, and whether or not you still have an emotional investment that they felt in the past. Because I feel like they were very aware of how you felt deep down. Even if they didn't act upon it, there was an awareness of how you felt. And they wonder if you've moved on. Maybe even if they're privy to your practical situation, they wonder if you've emotionally moved on, or if you're still holding on to some of this situation or some of these feelings as well. Because even her hair looks like tentacles, is trailing into the past. And so they wonder if you're still influenced in the same way, if they still have an influence over you. We have the 8 of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. And they've also thought about all of the ways that they've changed since you've known them. There's an emphasis on all the ways that they've grown, how they've changed, that they're no longer perhaps impetuous, or they're no longer really sarcastic or something. There's something about their energy that's really all over the place perhaps in the past, and they want you to know that they've kind of worked on themselves. Even with the Page of Pentacles, though, their thoughts trickled down to communication multiple times. It's like wondering, though, if they communicated with you, if they would be opening up a can of worms that they couldn't change direction from. And they wondered about the steps they'd have to take to actually create abundance with you or create an opportunity with you. You have the Page of Wands. The Star. The Three of Wands with the Fool. They really were thinking today about taking a bit of a risk. They were really thinking about reaching out to you. And I think it's because they were watching you. They were curious about what you're up to. And so they took a peek. They took a peek online, or they tried to find you on social media in some way. And that just added, the sight of you just added a whole bunch of fuel to this fire. And that's why he's now playing this drum, wanting to kind of make an announcement, wanting to express themselves to you. Very impulsive energy, but it's almost like they're using the excuse to themselves in these thoughts that, oh, I just want freedom from this. I just want clarity. I just want release. I just want, peace from the situation or closure. But the truth is that there's way more focus on you, an intense focus upon you during these thoughts than would indicate just closure, if you know what I mean. Like, there's just too much fire. There's too much fire. And with that much fire so close, somebody's going to get burned. Ultimately, their status sort of stepped in line and guarded them from taking that impulsive action towards you. They also let their minds wander to what it would be like in that reunion. And in the fieriest of their thought pattern, they also let their mind wander to what it would be like to physically mix with you, to be with you in a physical sense. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. There's this keen sense of wanting to be dependable, wanting to be reliable in this environment, and guarding themselves from change, guarding themselves against impulsive behavior, because they're worried that if they react with that impulse, that it could cause some sort of tower moment for them, some sort of upheaval, even if it's just emotional, that they can't turn back from. And ultimately it could have, huge consequences to the practical realm. And so they've slowed down this desire to explore, this desire to sort of quench their curiosity, because that's where their mind and their thoughts were predominantly on, quenching this curiosity of like, what are you up to? What's your situation? How do you still feel about me? We have the Five of Swords and we have the Eight of Swords. Ultimately, they did stop themselves from reacting in that way because of what they are calling a prison that they've invented, that they've designed. And this is mirroring actually pile one. This card actually came out in the exact same position. So there could be a message waiting for you there, perhaps. But again, there's that Four of Pentacles. So they really, really had to tame that lion. They really had to tame the passion that they feel towards you, because they knew that it probably wouldn't serve them or you to just act impulsively without some sort of plan towards you. What were their thoughts of pile two today, please? We have here September. And when I recorded this, it is in the month of September. And this is a timeless reading. September could also be significant. We have here pale, time to get out of a situation. And if you look here, the pale, it's already been dumped over. It's already lost everything that was inside. And so this 16 really mirrors that, the Tower, moment's regret, idealizing the past and fearing that you've made a mistake. It's like they worry that they've already lost the opportunity. And it's like they're trying to their thoughts around you circulate, how can I get that feeling back? How can I get the feeling that they gave me back? We have here fair man, dealings or relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. We have bag, something important as such as a job or career. An elephant, a long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser in the end. And fire. And so they are focusing on this very important aspect of their life, their priorities, their investments, their job, their home, for instance. And they don't feel that necessarily that luck is on their side because they feel like they lost that luck in that moment. They're very regretful for the chances they did not take in the past. But there's this strong focus on moving forward, because it's like if I react to my impulses in these thoughts, because these thoughts are impulsive and they're very fiery, because back of the deck says fire, strong emotion, passionate love or hate. So very strong, passionate love towards you. It's enough to fuel this king into action. But they know that if they do, they could regret that action. They could end up causing a lot of upheaval for you or for themselves as well. What were their thoughts today of pile number 2, please? We have here eternal dance, movement, wheel of life, and path of least resistance, number 19. It's like they were really just hoping for clarity. They wanted further clarity or access to you, access to your life, access to information about you. They're very, very curious about whether or not you are still invested here. We have here the message, positive news and positive outcome. And it's this doorway into peace. And that's what they claimed. They're like, I just want closure. Maybe I could just step forward and get some closure out of the situation. But ultimately, that's a foolish move, Spirit says, because it'll just fuel those flames even higher. Back of the deck says Ganesha. Clearing away obstacles, protection, and guidance. They're trying to protect their investments. But honestly, they look at you like you're that goddess. You seem unattainable to them. And that's part of the draw of that attraction. It's like the unavailability of you. It's what draws them in with a lot of this passionate force. Let's take a look here at some of their thoughts of you today. What were some thoughts that floated through their mind today for pile number 2, please? Let's just do it. Let's take a risk. Let's throw all the caution to the wind. But is it likely that I'm going to be received well? The If Pigs Could Fly card always reminds me of this sense of like it seems unattainable. They're like, it just seems too risky. It seems completely unattainable. It seems like wishful thinking. You're the one who cut me out. They started to go over the dynamics of the separation perhaps, or the moment where the two of you lost contact. The Queen of Swords is also sort of the leader in information. So they wonder if you are going to contact them or if you want to speak to them as well. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in the connection being something extraordinary? Because there's a sense of them wondering about that, the extraordinary capacity of this connection. We have Yang, the Ace of Wands. I think about the divine masculine energy as well. And you could destroy me. It's like if I give in to this passionate thought, this inspiration, I could have that regret. You could destroy everything that I've built. But the truth is that epiphany, this 16 is also representing that epiphany about the truth that hit them. The truth came after you walked away. The truth of how I felt about you, the truth of the depth of this connection. It all hit me like a ton of bricks after the fact. I'm ready to act. They were very impulsive thinking today. They really wanted to take a risk. And they were inspired by something. Something inspired them. I've made my bed and now I have to lie in it. The longing is eating away at me. And I dream about the life that we almost had. And I feel like they are a planner. This person likes to plan, likes to fantasize, likes to focus. And so they had plans in the past. They had intentions to act towards you and they just didn't pull it off in time. I did not follow my heart. And now they're experiencing that regret. And I dream of being reckless in this moment. So the primary thought today was this feeling of restless or reckless energy towards you, but they knew that it would probably blow up in their face or your face or everyone's face. I love you, but... And this card always comes with a caveat, you know. It's like there's issues, there are problems that I can't act the way that I want because of these issues and blockages. You make me weak everywhere. And where have you been? They're very curious about you and about your heart space and about your opinion. Soulmates, is that what this is? And I'm trying to figure myself out, but I do watch your social media, and that's why they were inspired. They had inspiration to start that thought process of you today. I'm going to fix it, but first I have to fix me. And back of the deck says, I am dreaming of you. So it's not just thoughts of you. These thoughts are consistent enough. They're filtering into the dream realm as well. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile 2, to close out your reading. What was the very last thought that pile 2's person had? Magician reversed. They did think about the wasted potential, and they're really regretful. That's why perhaps you were drawn to the moment's regret. They feel a lot of remorse over the things that they did not say or proclaim. The powerlessness that they felt, because now they wonder, like, we could have had it all. We could have had it all together. If I just brought my awareness to the light, if I just brought my feelings to the surface, we could have had it all. And we have the strength reverse, but they're really kicking themselves for feeling so weak, and for not even feeling weak, but they felt weak, but not acting upon that weakness with even a force of strength. It's like they're kicking themselves because that epiphany has hit them, and now they feel like they can't do anything about it. Now they say they have the strength. Now they say they have the confidence, and they can't do anything about it. It's almost like a cruel joke of fate and awareness. We have here E. We have the. We also have A. We also have U. We have baby shark. I think about little children, of course, and I think about things and actions we didn't take in childhood, perhaps. We have strength with the Leo. World on the axis, so unfinished business. Pisces energy going with the flow. And we also have a second fish. Now we have the sword of truth. So it's like the truth came in like a huge, huge sword. And now we have the tooth. And the tooth is a symbol of a fear of loss. Have I lost you forever? All right, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, I would love to hear your comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading. And if you do drop me a comment below any of my videos this month, be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can contact you if you're chosen the winner. You can also check me out for a personal reading from Etsy if you feel called to, and that link is below. But I hope that you come back and visit me on another day here at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3, you were drawn to the Peach Peony, and this is your reading. You are also drawn to the I Wonder What Will Happen Next card, Ready for Adventure, Precipice of Change, and Pause Before Action. And this reading is all about the person on your mind's thoughts of you today. So what were they thinking and feeling with regards to you today? And this is really talking about them potentially thinking about taking action. Being curious about what the future holds as well, because there's a sense of you being really highly thought of, and then being kind of pulled in different directions about what to do next in this connection. So let's take a look at that and see. I'm using the Fountain Tarot for you today. What was pile 3's person? What were they thinking today about pile number 3? What were their thoughts today? 5 of Cups. So there's a sense of loss with the 5 of Cups, and regret and remorse and fear that perhaps they've lost the opportunity. But if you really look closely at it, there's 3 cups that are tipped over. There's 2 cups that are still standing. So there's a sense of perception perhaps needing to be adjusted a little bit. What were their thoughts of you today? because they were thinking today, they were wondering if they're a little bit too late. And sometimes when we're at this moment, of fear where we're about to break through, about to take action in some type of way, we let those clouds of doubt, we let them overshadow us in that moment, because we're looking for excuses not to act. It's easier to take the path of least resistance and not act towards a situation when we feel compelled to, and it's easier to do that. So they wondered if it's kind of too late to take action. And then we have the Six of Cups. So their thoughts are beautiful when it comes to you. They care about you very deeply with the Six of Cups. It can be a friendship element that we're speaking about, but it usually begs for more connection. Like this person perhaps was stuck in a friend zone and they worry that they are stuck in that zone forever. We have the Six of Coins. Yeah, it's like this loop. It's like, how did I get myself into this karmic loop with you of just being your friend and never being anything more? And so they were thinking about that, about how to escape. It's almost like I'm seeing the sheep running in a circle. You know, if sheep will go into that death spiral, or they call it like a death spiral, where they just keep running in circles until they collapse because they are following the person in front of them. So there's a sense here of the two of you kind of in a circle pattern, and they wonder if, how to get out of it. That's what they were thinking about. How do I get out of this? We have the Nine of Swords. And we have the Page of Swords. Back of the deck, we have the Three of Wands. And we have the Knight of Swords. So they really are thinking about taking action. Right now is the pause here with the Page of Swords. He's gathering information. He's checking out the horizon. And he's going to hand that sword over to this Knight and go charging forward. But sometimes the Knight reacts too soon. And there's the Moon reverse. It's like he reacts too impulsively and then he doesn't think of the consequences, and so they're worried about that. And they really are thinking about, overthinking I should say, about taking action towards you in some type of way. So this could be a friend that you're asking about. But there's more here though. It's not just friendship. There's definitely more here because they want more with this Three of Wands. They want to go exploring. So it says ready for adventure, and they are ready for that exploration with you. But they just wonder if they've already missed their window, and so they've thought about that too. Have I missed my chance here? Have I missed my window of opportunity in this connection? What were their thoughts of pile 3 today, please? The Five of Wands. They also thought about, you know, the determination that they have to show. It's like I need to change my direction. I need to be ready to kind of face the consequences and be ready to fight for this. If I want to see this come into fruition for me, because this person does love you. Like they're claiming to love you. If it's just a friendship, they maybe have turned their back on that emotion at times when they've had to, but there's deep sense of affection here for you, in the very least. But there's an innocence about it, which is sweet. You could have gone to school with this person, maybe. You may have worked with them. We have the World. And the Chariot. And as I said, they feel pulled in different directions because of all of the emotion that they feel when it comes to taking action. The fear of the unknown. What if I get rejected? They've thought about that. On the floor is the Sun. Is the Sun energy on the floor. Truly, I don't feel like they would get the outcome that they expect, and all of these fearful energy, like they're just, this is all their thought that's circulating of this fear of the unknown, causing them needless anxiety. And then we have the Two of Wands sideways. Back of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and we have the High Priestess. And it's interesting because the High Priestess is number 2, and so is the card that you chose today, pile 3. And so there's this intuitive sort of communication between the two of you, and this person sits on their truth. They sit on their truth, but I feel like it's obvious. It could be very obvious in this friendship how this person feels. It could be very mutual between the two of you as well. And there could be also very mirrored soul paths here where you're both feeling equally insecure to kind of take that leap of faith. And so that's what their thoughts around you circulated. It was about taking action, making a plan, And it says pause before action, and that's exactly what the Two of Wands represents. It's about making a plan, wanting to take action, but not taking that very first leap of faith. So taking that pause before they completely take flight. And here's the moon in the reversed with the death energy. I do feel like there's going to be something revealed here. I don't think that this person is going to maintain their thoughts of you in secrecy forever. I think something is going to be revealed, and there's going to be some type of breakthrough with this person and with this connection, which is really exciting because it offers you opportunity if you want to take advantage of it. Because as I said, this person's expectations of what's going to be met, their worry over how they're going to be received, I don't feel is going to be exactly how they're going to be received. What were their thoughts of pile 3 today? And they know too, in these thoughts, they keep going over the process of how do I get to success here? How do I get what I want? It's if I push if I find the strength to actually ask them, if I find the strength to take that leap of faith and overcome this challenge. But they know it's like they can't go back to yesterday. It's like they want to bridge a gap between friendship and more. And so they understand that means a lot. It means a lot because there's already investment here and they care about you. So they've thought about that too. It's like they worry about hurting you. They worry about, causing pain. So that there's a lot at stake here in their mind. What were their thoughts of pile 3 today? We have here the Ram, an aggressive, stubborn person, or a stubborn, aggressive person. It's reversed. I don't feel that from this person. Maybe that's why it's reversed. I don't feel the stubbornness, except when it comes to themselves and how harshly they judge themselves, perhaps, which is why this Knight of Pentacles is so slow moving, because they're so critical of themselves. But they also are very reliable, and they want to be that for you. They've thought about that. Time to go out and have fun, the Grapes. Their thoughts circulated around taking you out, perhaps. And we have Apple, temptation is testing you. And Flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards, and plenty of material things. And that's what they're worried about. They really put you way up here and they put themselves a little bit lower, and they don't want you to feel like you're lowering their standards for them, and that's kind of sad. We have Bull, plenty of material things, and Chair, empty, someone leaving your life in the reversed, because that's what they don't want to lose you in any capacity, and that's where they feel like the risk is. They feel like if they step outside of their comfort zone and say, hey, this is how I feel about you, that if you don't match them exactly, that they're going to lose you in the capacity of which they already have you, which could just be friendship, which could be deep friendship, but they don't want to lose you in any sort of capacity. Oops. What were they thinking? What thoughts did they have about pile number 3 today? And we have here, it says, look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize, number 11. And they're thinking about bringing forward their truth. The strength is what we need to push this Chariot. And this Chariot is number 7. The strength is normally number 8. In this case, it's the 11. And we also have appreciate this moment. Every situation is an opportunity to grow and find love, and it's number 13. And so they're they're thinking about this precipice of change, this pause before action, and what type of rebirth or shift this whole action that they take, where they bring their truth to the surface, what sort of effect or cause that will have in the future. Back of the deck says, be willing to express your love. Express love to receive love. This person, their thoughts around you, pile 3, is filled with intent. Filled with intent. Right now they're pausing. In the very near future, they're pausing before they take action, but I do feel like they may take action towards you. What are some of the thoughts that pile 3's person had about pile number 3 today, please? Happiness is my priority. Your happiness. I feel like your comfort is a priority for this person, and they don't want to make you uncomfortable. I never imagined so much perfection. Putting you up on that pedestal, it's almost like adoration with the 9 of Pentacles. Somebody who is beautiful, somebody who carries themselves well, somebody who works on themselves. And the truth is, their thoughts circulated about how much they want more, how much they want you. but you seem out of their league. They wonder if you're out of their league. I want to get you drunk to lower your inhibitions. There's a sense here of insecurity, though. It's like they feel like they may need alcohol to loosen their tongue a little bit, lower their inhibition so that they can take action. They also want to take you out. They want to take you out and have fun. And we have, I'm a very jealous person when it comes to you. They don't like seeing you with other people. They don't like hearing about you with other people. We have light. We also have I lost everything? They have this epiphany, this truth that they have to bring forward, and they wonder if they're too late. Are they already too deep seated in the position in their life that they already are in with you? What were their thoughts of pile number 3 today, please? What were they thinking today about pile number 3? You came closer than anyone. And sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. So this is not just a singular event where you cross their mind, haphazardly. They think about you all the time. They stay awake in the evening thinking about you. I knew exactly what I was doing. And I couldn't let you get close to me. So they've had their guard up. It's like they reject before they get rejected. So they've had a guard up because they didn't want to get hurt. And they knew they were doing it on purpose. But I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. Back of the deck says, I wish I could share my good news with you. And ultimately, the good news could be the epiphany that they've had about their feelings, wanting to take this to a different level with you as well. Let's get some message cards. What were some of the thoughts that pile 3's person had today about pile number 3, please? What were they thinking about pile 3? I want to be more than friends. But I'm waiting for your call. It's like in an ideal situation, they wouldn't have to take action towards you. It's like they're pausing to see if maybe you'll come in and save them from that action or the necessity for it. They're taking their time just in case you want to slip in there with your truth. I think about you when I'm alone. And we were just kids when this began. It does feel very innocent with the 6 of Cups. That's very sweet, though. I remember every detail of you. They're very nostalgic when it comes to you. This is the type of person that would like save things when it comes to things you guys have done together in the past. Like they would save like the stub from the movie tickets or something like that. I want to see you so badly because you are like a breath of fresh air. And back of the deck says, I'm confused. I don't know how you feel. And so they are sort of waiting for a sign from you. If again, in an ideal situation, they've wondered, well, maybe if I just hesitate a little bit, maybe something else will happen. Maybe they'll say something, or I'll be able to feel them out a little bit more and see if they feel the same way. So they're waiting to see if there's any action on your end, but I feel like they have the intent to take action towards you, pile 3. Let's get a charm bowl. A charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. The very last thought that pile 3's person had today about pile number 3. Now, the 5 of Cups is where we started in your reading, isn't it? Yeah. This sense of like, am I stuck here in this friend zone? Am I stuck here with this 3 of Cups having fallen over? But if they just turn around, there's the 2 of Cups waiting for them. They just have to have the courage to walk through that gateway of change and rebirth. Oops, it's on the floor. And it's the Judgment. And the Judgment controls the thought process. It asks us to judge ourselves, our actions, and it asks us to adjust those actions to create new beginnings that make sense for new, fresh starts. And it's like they want to go back to the drawing board and they don't want to be a friend. They want to just go back to the drawing board and start over, start again in a new dynamic in this connection. We have a double-edged sword here, and we also have the gecko. I think about the King of Wands, so I think about Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy and protection. This person's very protective of you too. They are very, like they are invested in your emotions. They care a lot about you. We have the Star of Aquarius. We have the Infinity Strength, Leo energy. We do have the Dolphin. I think of friendship and flirtation. We have the Heart with all of the constellations on it. And we have Gemini. And we have Saint Anthony. Anthony could be an important name, for instance, in this connection. He's the patron saint of lost things, and he's holding on to baby Jesus as well. So there's an emphasis on children and an emphasis on feeling like I've already lost an opportunity. But all is not lost, apparently. All right, pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates, and if it does, please drop your comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my other links for a personal reading on Etsy, for instance, or for Instagram, but I hope that you come back here and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.